What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching Ohmeezzy. Shannon Sharpe just made everything worse. Yeah, I haven't watched a video on the Shannon Sharpe situation yet. I was just waiting for some shit to come out. I don't know. So I fuck with Shannon Sharpe for just the entertainment value, right? So I want to make sure everything was right. Short till you start jumping to bandwagons, jump like, oh, who did this? We still don't know, so we gonna see what happens in this, and we gonna see what Ohmeezzy's talking about in this one. And let's get into it, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's go.
Shannon Sharpe is really unlucky. Every single day, he's looking like Puffy. Day by day, the situation keeps getting ugly. Busby in 5.
Serge Ibaka, Chewbacca, Waka Flocka. Lakers in 5.
Over the past week, Shannon Sharpe has been
actually
getting hit left, right, and sideways when it's coming to, this lawsuit by this alleged victim, Gabrielle Zuniga, saying that Shannon Sharpe raped her, essayed her, and did a bunch of treacherous and terrible things to her, and is now suing him to the tune of $50 million. Naturally, Shannon Sharpe denied these things, but as more stuff came out, as more times Shannon Sharpe talked, and him having to address these things, these videos, these text messages, these narratives, ultimately, it's having his world come crashing down right in front of him. And I know people aren't going to want to hear this, but in my opinion, he's done some things to deserve this.
Ocho, where your sign?
Huh?
Where your sign?
My sign? I'm a Capricorn.
I tell you what, you better not F this up, because we waited to this day to put the signs up and to make the announcement. And hold on. Now, when you go to the airport, you always tweeting out or IG who want to pick their boy up from the airport. Have somebody come in there and hang that ish up on the wall.
Oh, you talking about the Boost Mobile sign?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, Ocho, you better not F it up. You and your unprofessional ways better not F this up for Unk. Don't F it up. I was doing my YouTube scrolls in the morning, and I came across a video from a creator that I watch all the time.
I remember that little beat they had, like that little disagreement they had where he was like, was calling them out on being unprofessional, and then right after that, that's when the Michelle thing happened, right?
I'm Anton Daniels. I know people think that that's a little bit different than who I am, but listen, I watch Anton Daniels on occasion. But he pointed out something that was very, very interesting. On these recent episodes of Nightcap, there have not been the sponsors that were once there.
Chad Ochocinco's background, he now has the Boost Mobile logo covered up with the jersey. Not only is the Boost Mobile logo covered up, but also on top of that, the DraftKings logo in the upper right-hand corner is missing. So the only logical conclusion that we can come to is that either A, the sponsorships are still there, but they're saying hold off, similarly to how we've obviously been informed over this past couple of days that ESPN is now saying that Shannon Sharpe is going to step away for a little bit in order to make sure that they clear things up right before football season. If you're not knowing about that, then I'm bringing it to you right now. They are not parting ways.
Not only is it the Boost Mobile, but it's also the DraftKings, it's also the ESPN, it's every single brand wanting to get away from Shannon Sharpe at this very moment due to these allegations. And he's also pushing to join his membership program on the YouTube channel very, very hard these days, because that's a big source of revenue and income that doesn't want to be attached to a guy like this to his magnitude. Now, it's no secret that his pockets are going to be affected due to the situation that is happening at hand. Trust me, these are grape allegations. These are very, very serious.
Yeah.
But I do not believe that it has been beneficial for Shannon Sharpe to be speaking out on this matter, because I think that it's only made the situation worse in the time being. Now, I know somebody like me knows that these ads are the most important things in the world, and I would never do anything to mess up things with our sponsors, like today's sponsor, Pia VPN. Pia is my go-to VPN service for all my privacy and security needs. Whenever you're browsing online, you are guaranteed stay safe out top level. These are very serious allegations that are on Shannon Sharpe. And even though a lot of us have very, 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 very much doubt in the manner that he did do these things, I mean, this is a Tony Busby production. This is the same lawyer who put up this crazy claim on Jay-Z at parties that he's never been. This is the same one that put up a lawsuit against Drewski, who in 2018 didn't have, 91 cents to his name. Like, this is a crazy lawyer. That doesn't mean that these sponsors won't take this seriously just because it's coming from Tony Busby. They got to cover their asses in this regards. I personally think one of the biggest mistakes that Shannon Sharpe and his legal team has been making is been speaking out constantly. Now, I get it. At first glance, you probably want to protect yourself in these regards by coming out and speaking to the public. But when you are trying to paint these...
Trust me, if I had some grape allegations on me, nigga, we gonna talk about it. Even if they not true, hell yeah, we talking about it, nigga. Hell no. I ain't staying quiet on that. Cause once that rumor is out, like that rumor is out, like also people don't take the word allegations serious. Like they just ignore that. So they just say, oh no, he like that person did it. Like no. These are allegations ongoing in court until those results come, and then you can judge by then. But I don't know.
These narratives that don't necessarily line up, or you just have, I don't know, what seems to be crazy claims and all this evidence and all these rebuttals. It's only going to open up the door for more people to look at you, your wrongdoings, your transgressions, and what you did in this case, regardless of if it was legal, not legal, moral, or immoral.
She will be asked to explain the text messages asking for fantasy role playing, asking to be choked, asking for a dog collar, asking for his, quote, black babies. This was all a plan, taped, manipulated, extortion, blackmail scheme, and we will prove that in court when we sue her in a counterclaim and she's under oath.
To me, that conversation and the conversation about Shannon Sharpe graping this woman don't necessarily connect. Sure, they're both in the kinky and freaky stuff. There's fantasy role play. Where does this align with the grape allegations? Where does this align with the claims of him choking her outside of any sort of sexual aspect? I just don't get it. And the only reason I would even have that perspective is because Shannon Sharpe's lawyer decided to speak out. Similar to Shannon Sharpe and his team speaking out about other lawsuits and legal matters that came out in Shannon's past. An old case from FS1 reared its ugly head this past weekend because when it starts to rain, it starts to pour. As Shannon Sharpe gets deeper into the weeds of this situation, obviously and naturally, more people are going to start to speak on the matters that involve his past and his sexual life and his relationship. So an interesting tidbit came out about that FS1 situation. Allegedly, Shannon Sharpe had choked a PA, a female PA at FS1, and there was some sort of internal investigation and some sort of financial compensation that came out of that, some sort of settlement. Now, Shannon Sharpe's attorneys, instead of letting that situation go without any sort of comment, denying anything, said that there was something that did happen at FS1. We did have to have some sort of settlement, but there was not choking. And see, the stuff like this is the reason why I ask why I speak, because now you want to play the vague game, but just 2 seconds ago, you wanted to speak entirely on the matters of all these situations in order to clear your name. Shannon's legal team decided to tell us, yo, go talk to Fox Sports Network. Listen, they're not on trial. They've got their own things going on, but they are not on trial right now. You are in this court of public opinion game that you're playing. So why not answer the question directly? Another legal situation also came out this weekend where Shannon Sharpe's ex, Michelle Evans, called him to the fire. Michelle Evans is claiming that Shannon Sharpe has a repeated past, a history of doing these exact same things to her. The same things that were done to Jane Doe or Gabrielle Zuniga, the 19-year-old woman that we wouldn't know about if Shannon Sharpe didn't come out and publicly out her. Sharpe's team also came out and said that this was another fantasy role-playing situation. Seems like Uncle Freaky Shannon Sharpe likes to get down a certain type of way that can apparently be perceived as great. Look, I want to be very clear in my stance in this video. I don't know what happened in the real-life situation with Shannon Sharpe, Gabrielle Zuniga, Michelle Evans, or any other person claiming that Shannon Sharpe harmed them. I think attaching your name to Tony Busby does, void a lot of credibility in this case. I don't like to take any one person's side because, hey, celebrities can be freaky and I don't want to stand on the freaky side. Plus, people are actual victims out here. What I do want to say is the court of public opinion does not matter. And Shannon Sharpe opening his mouth has only opened up a can of worms to losing a bunch of credibility, a bunch of followers and supporters, and a bunch of advertisers who perceive him to be some Uncle Freaky Shannon Sharpe gooned out deviant. Not only are they not going to want to attach their name to you because you have these grape allegations, but I can almost guarantee that Boost Mobile is rethinking all the freaky deaky accusations that you have, even the ones that are legal. And I know somebody's probably going to say in the comment section, Omar, Shannon Sharpe has always been gooned out. But the difference between now and back then is that back then it all seemed like harmless chatter. It all seemed like, talk on the podcast with your bros and your boys. But now going forward, it's building a pattern in a case for you. It's letting the world know about your transgressions and that you actually do it. It's one of those things where, people didn't believe it until they saw it and now they see it and all they can do is look at you as a freaky old man.
You have to get to that point where you grown enough to just feel like, okay, I'm not in that era no more, so I'm not leaving my man for cheating once. Maybe I'm probably gonna get like 4 times.
4? Oh, damn.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have to get your number.
I'm the back shop king. So she passed gas.
Yes, sir.
She said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them shit.
Hey, we don't. Here's my thing about Shannon Sharpe. He give us so much information that we don't even ask for. We don't ask for it. We didn't ask for this. I think I seen this full clip. I don't think that there's no, like, they were talking about, you know, girls farting. Look, we didn't ask for the extra part. Shannon, we didn't ask for the extra part. We didn't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that.
It kept going.
and
you got Deion Sanders on your bullshit.
What was I saying, Ocho? Ocho, what was I saying? I ain't hear it.
You was like, you gonna take this. I'm just saying, I ain't never heard you talk like that, Now, what we do got to work on is, ain't nothing wrong with your hip, but we got to work on your cardio, because you was breathing heavy. When you lift weights, hit the treadmill first. Or do the step,
real talk,
do the
Ocho, your boy. Hey, Ocho, I was already knee deep for about 25.
Listening to Bad Legal Advice had Shannon Sharpe reveal his accuser by name and by OnlyFans handle. I know a lot of people are divided on the fence about whether you should out a Jane Doe accuser or not, but what it did for a lot of the community and a lot of the people is put a face to a name or a face to a person. Yeah, there was a transcript that talked about her age, but seeing her in real time, discovering that she was actually a white woman, and putting this face of what a lot of people would classify as mid-milk to the accusations made people look at Shannon Sharpe even worse. Not worse in the sense that he did it or not did it from my timeline's perspective, but worse in the fact that you're doing this with that person. Now we listen to those audio tapes differently. It sounds clear as day that she is setting him up with all the pauses and just the way that she's posing these statements and questions.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Now we're looking at all the times on FS1 or on First Take or any of these publications where you've had interactions with women or you've had conversations about getting downright dirty. It all...
Yeah. Unc freaked out. Well, Shannon's freaked out. He ain't until the allegations get passed by. Shannon's freaked out. Shannon, here's my thing. You know, you out here tricking. Like, people that think that's just your girlfriend, that's not his girlfriend. He's just out here tricking, right? Bruh, when you tricking, like, nigga, you 19, nigga? 19? I always thought, if I'm in my 50s, let's say if I'm like divorced and got, you know, I'm single, somehow I'm single in my 50s or some shit, right? Nigga, if I got them, if I'm balling, I can, you know, I'm out here tricking, nigga, my bitch gonna be like 35 at least. She gonna be in her 30s, 40s or something. You know what I'm saying? Where she can still give me what I want, and you know what I'm saying? Might cook a nigga a good meal or two, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, 19? What the fuck? 19, bruh? What the fuck a 19 gonna do for you? Now, come on, bruh. I don't know, man. I hope all this is not true.
Looks scary in the light. You then do things like screenshot your PR team's message to you to post out to the world, and instead of copying and pasting it and making it at least seem somewhat genuine, you do the screenshot thing, which makes it seem like you just don't give a fuck. Now, Shannon Sharpe has made it very clear as to why he's doing this. It's for his supporters and his fans.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart.
We're going to be suing her as a counterclaim, and we will prove she's lying. But then I said myself to Shannon Sharpe, you need to talk to your family, your friends, your fans, everybody who watches ESPN, because you are telling the truth. The truth is on your side, and when you say it yourself, rather than me or somebody else saying it, you will be believed.
So I asked myself, who would Shannon Sharpe be willing to drop evidence that he's into race play for? Who would Shannon Sharpe be trying to drop, I don't know, a 10-minute sex tape if he had to exonerate his name for? Who would Shannon Sharpe be doing this for? Who are those family, friends, and most importantly, who are those supporters?
Shannon, I'm not done with you. I just can't get over, I want you to put a big black baby in me. That's what you like?
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what we like. That's what we've always liked. In all honesty, if I date a white woman and she doesn't say something like that to me, I ain't gonna date her any longer. I can tell with your light-skinned ass that it might hurt your feelings, but the rest of us like that.
Don't say us, nigga.
But Jethro, this is crazy. At the beginning of the video, I said that Shannon Sharpe earned this
I never been
situation
with a white woman, but still,
no, I don't
say
think
us,
that it's
nigga.
right for Shannon Sharpe to be blackmailed. If that is true, I don't think that it's right for Shannon Sharpe to be, you know, pimped out or taken advantage of, if this is to be true. But not only did he put himself in situations for this to happen, you know, dealing with, as he would say, 19-year-old OnlyFans model Gabrielle Zuniga, aka Carly.
Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans.
But he himself, through his actions, have opened up Pandora's box for everybody to investigate and have opinions about him, his life, his actions, etc., etc. Instead of just not talking, Shannon Sharpe has been on record being nothing but a horny, creepy old man. Even to the tune of being contradictory when it came to Donnell Rawlings and his relationship with the younger woman.
Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the... Donnell!
Didn't date her mom because... Why didn't I date her mom?
Yeah, good question.
No, wait.
I'm asking the question.
No, because
this ain't the Donnell Rawlings show.
Love is love.
If you don't...
Love is love.
I agree with you. You like them young, though.
I say, Drake, I heard you. No. Don't do that. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is.
I don't usually do this, but I really wanted to address something that has really been bothering me for the past couple of months. My son's dad is a comedian and an actor, and he did an interview with a man by the name of Shannon Sharpe on his podcast. Now, on that podcast, Shannon Sharpe did a lot of digging. My son is almost 10 years old, and my son's dad and I broke up over 6 years ago. So for him to ever try to bring me up, or a family dynamic, or the age gap, is very, very shocking to me. You went digging and you found the fact that we have a huge age gap, and you highlighted that, and you tried to make fun of it, but you were actually really living that life, if not worse. I mean, this girl was a teenager, and, you know, with all the evidence that she put out there, I don't know if it's, you know, good evidence or not, or, you know, whatever. The stuff that I seen was pretty awful. I just feel like if you live in a glass house, please don't throw stones. You are very quick with the lip to ask him details on and why didn't you date her mom? Why didn't you date her mom? Oh, did you guys meet at Forever 21? At least I was 21. You know what I'm saying? Like, 19 is too young. You at your big age, you know that. You have kids that are probably older than that. Let's leave it alone. Let's leave families alone.
Get on his Shannon Sharpe's loose lips ultimately are sinking his ship faster than the lawsuit, in my personal opinion. Ultimately, allegations are very bad, and so are lawsuits. But they would have stayed fairly vanilla if Shannon Sharpe had not opened his mouth about a lot of these situations. This called in question a bunch of his character and a bunch of his past clips that made people ask a lot of questions about him, find hypocrisy, past situations in which he's done similar things, lawsuits, etc., you know, on camera behavior, all these things of the like. And now, no longer are we saying to ourselves, oh man, this is messed up that Shannon Sharpe is going through this. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this Uncle Freaky, race-playing, milk-loving, aggressive, grabby man who is a hypocrite about the whole age situation is in a bad situation, but he's still nasty. You try to save your public image, but you ultimately hurt it even more. Shannon Sharpe, please, just hush.
Yeah, the Donnell Rawlings one is weird. Like, you don't just, like, date yourself, bro. Like, don't be coming at another man when you doing the same thing. Technically, you doing it worse because you fucking with a teenager. I don't give a fuck. 18, 19, even if it's legal, nigga. You're fucking with a teenager, nigga. In 50, you in your 50s. You're fucking with a teenager. I don't give a fuck. Like, come on. Like I said, man. Hopefully the allegation's not true about you, man. You know what I'm saying? I do like... You are entertaining on your podcast and stuff like that. I love watching your Club Shay Shay interviews. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's not true, because I do want those. You know, I still want to watch those. You know what I'm saying? So, but if there is truth, then, hey, tough luck, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Tough luck. But anyway, shout out to Ohmeezzy for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out some other videos you might like on this channel. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.